Okay, I'm back. Well, according to the video, they have the thing and it says monuments? So we know what the monuments are. So I guess we'll make sure we look at them all. See if we can't trigger something. Try to look at them from multiple angles, because that's a thing that they love to apparently do. Da-da. Like horse and rat. All that kind of stuff. Just wonder what I can do to trigger something from it. Maybe these are all names that are members of the family tree, and I have to look up something in the library to trigger that? Maybe. I haven't been back in the library since I looked at them all. Might be it. Or there's like technical manuals in what's his face house. Try his bookshelves. So we can still walk around his house unimpeded for some reason right now. Do they have bookshelves? No. Samu had the bookshelves. No, I'm just completely wrong. Cool. Who wouldn't be completely wrong? Probably me. No, you know, when all else fails, go to the library, right? Was well and the riddle can be solved. Think about certain keywords, nothing might come out, but after finding a new clue, if one tries to think it, it's possible something might come out this time. What's the basis of solving the riddle? Solve secret codes too. A meaningful way to read them. In other words, the procedure of reading that cryptic text, it would then become an understandable piece of text. Requires the presence of a code table. Sort the codes in a specific order. Okay. There, many Magstone monuments. And then 12 of them. Arranged about the money so they lead to a hidden treasure. Mysteries to this day not solved. There. Okay. Keyword monuments. All been throughout the island for ages. It says that they're hiding the secret of the treasure Shimamuras. Each one of them has some letters carved in it. So far, some 6 stones. Each Chinese zodiac animal. It's the very stone monument we found so far as an animal from the Chinese zodiac. This means there are 12 monuments total. That's it. I'll leave it to the detective boys. Even though they came all the way here, those guys will leave me extremely bored so far. If I tell them to go treasure hunt for the monuments around the island, they will gladly help us. Alright. Now I can release the detective boys. Release them from their prison. Guys, I'd like to ask you a favor. What is it? What is it? Are the detective boys finally getting to work? It's been so long, I was tired of waiting. What is it, Conan? Actually, it seems these enigmatic stone monuments are hiding a secret. Enigmatic stone monuments? Yes, actually. Oh yes, we already found at least 6 monuments so far. Should we keep searching? Yes, each stone should have some letters covered on the top or the bottom. If they are on top, you'll need to use some stepping stone to read them, so be careful. These those letters are the key to solving this secret. Are they part of the code? You got me interested. If we can solve this code, we should find the location of the island's treasure. Treasure? Whoa, awesome! Okay, leave it to us. Detective boys, mobilize! Roger! I'm so excited! Alright, go, detective boys. Yes, they should find the remaining stone monuments. Investigation of the murders now. Found these 6 stones, These guys haven't even found one yet. Well, why not? Okay, yeah. Most fall, Okay, I feel like that should be like everything. We've got all the clues. Mr. Policeman, I left you all the clues. Maybe I just have to, like, leave and come back and the detective boys will have found something? Conan, Ayumi found something strange. Go and ask her now. Okay. Oh, Conan, I've been waiting for you. Actually, we went searching for the stones so they don't figure us out the island, but then deep in the forest I found these. Oh. These are the same Mikey sneakers that his son had in his house. And these ones are scratched. He said that he was very sad because he had scratched the sneakers he just bought. And the sneakers in the crime scene didn't have any scratches, and now we have a different pair of sneakers here. It's the trick that the culprit used. Did you realize something? Thanks. This is definitely a good clue. Okay, we'll go find the remaining stone monument. Thanks, Ayumu. Alright, let's go! Roger! Explain to everyone, I must organize my thoughts first. Okay, now we're to the quiz. Alright, we've done it. We came here with the intention of solving the mystery of the sister's golden statue. We end up involved in a series of unexpected murder cases, yeah? What clues we found so far? Arrived on the island, we suddenly witnessed an incident. Miyata had fallen in the yard of the mansion. Hi, cat. Have you fallen in the yard of the mansion? No. There's a piece of glass on the interior side of the study's window on the 4th floor, from which we thought Miyata had fallen from. It's broken through, and the body falls outside. The glass should end up outside. The glass inside the room was cut beforehand. Yes, the glass was cut beforehand to make it look like it had broken when Miyata fell. Kind of inside the room, and then he missed this piece when he recollected all the others. And the culprit did this to the glass pieces. Take to rooftop. Pieces of glass on the rooftop, too. The culprit carried the glass to the rooftop. There's no other reason why there's glass there. By the time Miyata actually fell from the roof. The obvious conclusion is that the pieces of the glass have fallen from the rooftop at the same time Miyata did. Culprit probably put Miyata to sleep by giving him sleeping pills or something. Similar, he then carried him to the rooftop and laid him down there. When Miyata woke up, he would immediately fall after making a move. But the assembled glass piece of Miyata, and at the time of his falling, the glass would fall along with him. Ooh. Apologies. Okay, no one Miyata would wake up after being put to sleep, making him fall from the rooftop just when he arrived to the mansion. Controlled the timing by making his phone ring. There was a phone inside one of the pockets. Cat, I'm solving the mystery. Stop yelling. Miyata's coat. When he'd ring, Miyata would wake up from his sleep and would try to take his phone. Then, from that unstable rooftop, how did he make that mobile phone ring? Assuming he would be a suspect, an alibi. At that time, the person did this. Phone hidden inside the big clock. He called Miyata with it. While keeping it hidden in his pocket, he only had to press a button at the correct time, so we wouldn't find anything if we expected after the incident. He simply hid it inside the big clock. What's wrong, Cat? Cat is very disturbed. She doesn't like murder investigations. Just according to the criminal's calculations, Seiichi was in the study at that time because he was summoned. His email left in Seiichi's computer. Hey, stop stabbing me. What the heck? It's Miyata who was summoning him. Seiichi used to communicate with Miyata like that very often, so he responded to that letter and went to the study. The criminal who framed Seiichi know about their relationship? In other words, he knew about their summoning emails too. Now I'm very sure who the criminal was aiming for. Right, that's the gist of Miata's case. I guess Seiichi was framed, and the real culprit is someone else. The first murder case of Samu, let's see if Seiichi was the culprit for it. If that's not the case, how did the criminal manage to murder Samu in that house, which no one was able to enter or leave without leaving footprints? 2 pairs of Mikey sneakers, the same size and model. One belonged to the real Samu, while the other pair belonged to... culprit. What a weird phrase. Some of the pair of sneakers the same model as Samu's. The culprit bought those to switch them at some point with the real pair as part of a trick he used. Sam was so crazy about sneakers, a real sneakerhead, he bought all the new models just as they came out. Despite this, he wore these Mikey sneakers that he had just bought and went out on the rainy day, though he had many others. And he covered them with mud like that. He never left. Actually, someone never left his own house. Must come to that conclusion after looking at the state of the crime scene. With this, we solved one mystery. There were 2 types of footprints on the crime scene. The first one's going from Kunio's house to Osamu's house. The owner of those footprints was... It's possible these were left by Osamu or by Seiichi. They were made by another person. In other words, these footprints were left by the criminal. Those footprints were made by the culprit. There are many riddles to solve. There were only footprints entering Osamu's house. If there was really somebody else besides Seiichi, then that criminal escaped by doing this. Walking backwards. 2 types of footprints on the ground. One of those had average center of gravity, while the other set had its center of gravity on the tips of the toes. This difference meant that that person was walking backwards. It looked like those footprints were left while walking towards the house, but they actually were left while going away from it. This is the trick the criminal used to escape Samu's house. Crime scene, there were also some footprints surrounding the house, and then coming back to the entrance. It's hard to imagine a reason why Samu or Seiichi needed to do this. Those footprints were left by the culprit too. The criminal left those footprints to attach mud. I tried to attach mud to the sneakers. The criminal had 2 pairs of sneakers, and he left one of those in Osamu's house. But he looked as if Osamu had come back wearing those sneakers. However, if these sneakers that he was going to leave at the house weren't covered in mud, his secret could be easily found. The culprit first wore the sneakers that he would leave there, and with them walked around the house, leaving them covered in mud. Then he changed them to use the other pair, and then left the house by walking backwards with them. Another trick the culprit used, but why of all things did he buy some Mikey sneakers? Even in Osamu's house, those are cheap shoes. Even in Osamu's house, they're cheap shoes. Why he thought about wearing Mikey sneakers on a rainy day, even though he knew that such a thing would raise suspicions? They're not worn down. Since the way each person walks has certain peculiarities, the way in which the shoe sole is worn down varies from person to person. If one has worn a pair of shoes long enough, even if another pair of the same model is bought, by looking at the shoes, one can easily tell who the owner of each of them is. Because of this, the criminal had to buy the most recent pair that Osamu had, so he chose the Mikey sneakers that Osamu hadn't worn much. With this, the gist of the case is now clear. I'll gather everyone and I'll solve the case! Ran, the uncle has solved the mystery. Eh? What's the matter? Ah, Conan, somebody's gone to meet Seiichi. Eh? He just came back, right? It seems like Kunio had found Seiichi, but since he believed my brother was innocent, he asked him to take shelter in an occupied house in the outskirts of the village. Kunio also asked my sister if she wanted to say something to my brother, and then he arranged a secret meeting between them, so the police would not find out. That means Satomi is in total danger. Wants to be a brother. So glad your brother is safe. We can prove Seiichi's innocence. This is terrible. He's in great danger. Is there something wrong, Conan? I'll go meet Seiichi too. Eh? You can't, Conan. It's a secret meeting. Ah, but I saw some policemen in a hurry going to the village for something. Oh no, could it be they have found them? That's awful. I'll go in and inform them immediately. Now wait! Ran, we must go too! Well, if Rand's going, she can beat the crap out of Kunio. What is it? You look strange. Did something happen? They have found Seiichi. What? Seiichi? Alright, it's time for the great detective. Alright, well, it's one way to get everybody gathered, I guess. Conan, this is awful. Seiichi appeared in the village just now. Eh? And he had started a quarrel with Kunio. Wasn't Satomi near them? Satomi? She was there, but that was a big uproar and it's very... Is Satomi safe? She's safe. Did something happen with her? Good. So where's Rain and Kogoro? Came a different way, so we got separated. We're going to the village. Got it. I'm going there too. Ah, Seiichi? Brother, Seiichi, did they catch you? What's happened here? Let me go, I didn't do anything. You look awful, Seiichi. Tell us why you've come here. Be honest and admit your crime. Brother? Excuse me, please let me pass. Thank you. Oh, you finally, Seiichi got caught. Oh, Mr. Mori. Who are you? Well, they call me the detective Kogoro Mori. Also in charge of this case, I've been searching for your whereabouts. Well then, can you explain what has occurred? There's no time for that! Seiichi finally tried to even kill me. Oh. It's because you tried to kill my Satomi. Did I just hear that excuse? Satomi and I were together here when you suddenly came and attacked her, didn't you? Satomi, you saw it too, right? And when I suddenly turned around, I saw my brother and you struggling with each other. What was that? I was shouting and calling to the villagers to come and rescue us. Seiichi, I believed in you. That's it! You tried to kill Satomi from behind, that's why I entered and stopped you! Okay, Seiichi, calm down, please. Come quietly and let the police ask you questions. If I listen to Seiichi's side of the story, is he really the culprit? For now, just knowing that Satomi is safe is a big relief. Alright, let's put the old man to sleep with a tranquilizer dart. Ah? Officer. Taking Seiichi won't be necessary. Huh? Because Seiichi's not the culprit. The real culprit in this case is another person. What did you say? Brother. However, I still take Seiichi for a police interrogation. For what case? You can hear all the necessary evidence now. I've already solved all the riddles. The culprit skillfully framed Seiichi to make him look like the criminal, but in the process he made some fatal mistakes. But if we look at the circumstances of these murder cases, there's no way Seiichi could not be the culprit. It was a trap set by the real culprit. The criminal used some tricks to make him look like that, but I've solved all the mysteries of these cases. I'll explain it all now. Let's start with the first murder. In this case, there were some footprints left and Seiichi was a suspect, right? Yes, there were no more footprints coming out of the victim's house since the time of the crime. We found Seiichi there on the morning. But he decided that he was the culprit. However, think about this. If Seiichi was really the culprit, why would he stay in Isama's house until the next morning after he killed him? Surely he would have known that he'd become the main suspect. So he wouldn't leave any footprints. If he had left footprints of the crime scene, he would have been exposed as the culprit anyway, right? In that case, he could have escaped by using Isamu's shoes. There were many shoes in the house crime scene, right? He's mentioning, yes, certainly. That's very implausible. It seems you're suspecting of him too much. Let me explain all step by step from the start. Step by step, baby. First, this is what we thought. On the night of the crime, Isama has gone to Kunio's house to pay him a visit. While it was raining, Isama and Kunio were there drinking together. Once the rain had stopped, Isama came back to his own house. Since the ground started with rain, Isama's sneakers left footprints going towards the house. Then the perpetrator Seiichi, hidden in Isama's house before he arrived, ambushed Isama and killed him. So we thought. That's right. Footprints in the crime scene are from the time when he came back home from Kunio's house. One of the footprints are around the house in a circle pattern left by the same sneakers. culprit really was someone else, how did he escape from the crime scene? No footprints of the criminal from the time he escaped the house. Are there? Yes, there are. The culprit left his footprints very clearly in the crime scene. We just didn't realize that they were the culprit's footprints. What are you saying? Exactly that. First of all, on the night of the murder, Isamu didn't go to Kunio's house at all. Isamu and the criminal were both at Isamu's house. I don't know whether Seiichi saw the real culprit at that time or not. Seiichi himself can give us his testimony eventually. Anyhow, firstly, Seiichi was sleeping. Perhaps he was given some sleeping pills. Seiichi kept sleeping like that until the next morning. Then, once the culprit knew that the rain had stopped, he executed his crime as he had planned it beforehand. Until the perfect chance had come, he beat Isamu to death with a flower vase. Perfect chance? The culprit had secretly bought the same Mikey sneakers that Isamu had. That day he brought them as usual. Now, let me tell you the trick he used. The culprit walked around the house once while wearing the sneakers. If he hadn't done this, the sneakers wouldn't have been covered in mud, and it would have left unexplained how Isamu did come back from Kunio's house. After that, the culprit went back to Kunio's house while wearing his own sneakers, walking backwards. Backwards? I see. The footprints that seemed to be left by Isamu while he was returning home were in fact left by the culprit while he was leaving Isamu's house. There were two sets of footprints on the crime scene. One coming from Kunio's house felt somehow unnatural, and that was because their center of gravity was on the tips of the toes. Walks facing forward, the center of gravity in the footprints is generally uniform. The footprints that extended from Kunio's house were deeper at the extremities of the toes. In other words, these footprints were made by walking backwards. Am I mistaken? Kunio Shimamura? What are you saying? I'm the culprit? There's only one set of footprints around your house that night. That is, the ones going from your house towards Isamu's house. The footprints were really left by Isamu. He didn't leave your house on that night after the rain stopped. However, if we can assume that the culprit used this trick to escape from Isamu's house, there were no additional footprints coming out of your house. The culprit never went out from there after he left Isamu's house. In short, when Kyoko arrived to your house and the next morning, you were the only man in there. Since you were the culprit of this case. How do you know the criminal used such a trick? There's no proof of it, is there? Speaks on such a speculation, and yet you call yourself a detective. There's proof. You committed a fatal mistake. The other Mikey sneakers were very new too, so you'll have no one find a difference between them. Such self-confidence that you made a mistake. Didn't you notice? The sneakers that you wore while returning home were not the ones that you had bought. The ones that were in Isamu's house originally. Unbeknownst to you, Isamu had accidentally scratched his Mikey sneakers soon after he had bought them. However, the sneakers left in the crime scene didn't have a scratch anywhere. Because you committed a mistake when you picked the sneakers, didn't you? Found the sneakers of Isamu that you threw away in the forest. The kids discovered them while they were playing there. However, why would I need to murder Isamu? Being the next in line for succession, Seiichi had many more reasons to want him dead. Besides, that's right, you saw with your own eyes that Seiichi killed Miyata. I was together with all of you at that time. Please tell me how I could have pushed him off. Didn't Seiichi kill Miyata because he knew the secret about him? If he wasn't the culprit, why did he escape? He escaped because he's the culprit. Quickly arrest Seiichi now. Isn't that your job? There's a reason why Seiichi escaped. But before that, let me explain the details of the second murder case. I'll explain the relationship between the victim Miyata and Seiichi. Seiichi was originally born and raised outside the Shimamura family. He had a hard time adapting himself to the rest of the Shimamura family. Right. Wasn't a person suitable to the headship succession from the start. Seiichi had a close friend who was Miyata. In this case, Seiichi went to see Miyata, probably because he thought that Miyata could help improve his innocence. Is that correct? Yes. When he arrived to the island, Kyoko said that the provisions in the mansion were running out very quickly. That's because Miyata was handing them out to Seiichi, right? I know about that because we found some email exchange between the two. They were always consulting each other about their worries. And kept communicating that way while Seiichi was suspected of having killed Isamu and he was out on the run. Notes from Miyata were redirected from Seiichi's computer to his phone, while he wrote to Miyata from that same mobile phone. Mobile phone. Right. Recent cell phones can send and receive emails too. Who knew? Ah, is that so? Then Kunio, who knew all those secret communications, thought that sooner or later Miyata would find some evidence against him if he kept investigating to help Seiichi. So he carried out a plan to murder Miata. You're just talking without any basis. There's no way I could have killed Miata. Since you were with us when Miata fell? However, although you're right next to us, you only had to move a single fingertip to make Miata fall, Kino Kunio Shimamura. What? What does that mean? Let me explain. By looking at the circumstances of the crime scene, we thought that Miata had fallen from the 4th floor study. As the window of the study was broken, there was pieces of glass scattered around Miata's dead body, right? Even so, that's not what happened. Miata actually fell from the rooftop. The rooftop? Right, Miata was put to sleep and carried over to the rooftop. Then he was laid down with his face just on the edge of the roof. Criminal, Kunio, put Miata's body in pieces of glass from the study's window that he had broken beforehand. It was a piece of glass that fell on the interior side of the study's window. If Miata had broken through the window, pieces of glass would have fallen outside. It's a piece that the criminal overlooked when he collected all the glass from the window that he broke inside the study. In short, this proves that he broke the window in advance. After this, the culprit took all collected glass to the rooftop. Found some glass pieces on the rooftop. That's proof that he took the glass that he had broken beforehand to the rooftop. Summing up, Miata's body in the glass that we thought had fallen from the 4th floor actually fell from the mansion's rooftop. When we found out about the messages via email, Kunio, pretending to be Miata, sent Seiichi an email to make him come to the study at the time of the crime. This email had already been deleted from Miata's computer at the study, but the copy received on Seiichi's computer was still there. Seiichi probably read that email on his phone while he was still a fugitive. He arrived at the study at the time of the crime, so that around the same time Miata woke up and fell from the rooftop. Wait a second, Mr. Mori. Miata waking up on the roof didn't necessarily mean that he would fall from there, right? Sure, the rooftop is quite a deep decline, but that alone doesn't guarantee it would tumble down and fall. More importantly, no one could even know when Miata would wake up. He also used the mobile phone for that. Mobile phone? The cell phone inside Miata's coat. Kunio secretly called from his own phone to Miata's mobile, without any of us noticing it. The incoming vibration woke up Miata, who was sleeping face down, and when he tried to take the phone out from his inside pocket, he rolled over in his sleep. Exactly. Miata was right-handed and take the phone from his left inside pocket. By necessity, he had to raise his right shoulder to turn over. So when inclined his body like that, naturally tumbled down. Criminal had calculated in advance the best position to lay Miata down. Well, okay. I was kind of with you up until this point, but this seems a lot, but sure. Arriving at the island, we went climbing up a mountain road, and just before we arrived at the mansion, Kunio secretly used the phone in his pocket and called Miata. Miata screamed and fell down. Look at that. Look at that dead sprite. He raised his voice to tell us to observe Miata's falling place. Thus, we became witnesses of the whole incident, and were now able to verify Kunio's alibi. On the side, Seiichi heard Miata scream from within the study, and he went to the window to look outside. At that moment, Kunio raised his voice again to tell us to look up. Seiichi was looking down from the broken window of the study, and it looked like he was the murderer again, all according to the culprit's plan. Then Kunio rushed into the mansion pretending that he was going to go after Seiichi, but in that short time he took the opportunity to hide his phone inside the big clock on the mansion's hall. Well, you were afraid that if people knew during the investigation that you had a mobile phone, they'd be able to guess your trick, right? However, due to your hidden cell phone, the big clock started to malfunction. Never thought of that, did you? As you can see, I've also found your phone. It's this. Mobile phone, right? Seiichi, is there any difference between what I said and your personal experience? No, it's exactly as you said. Thank you for dispelling all the suspicions, Mr. Mori. When I was arrested, I began to fear that it would take a considerable amount of time to prove my innocence, assuming that I could even manage to do it. My sisters, when Satomi and Miki found the golden statue, the news spread through the island very quickly, and it caused a big uproar. According to that story, the path that led to the treasure of the island would finally open, that both statues could get together. The one statue of this island that belonged to the murder victim Isamu had disappeared. In other words, I thought that the aim of the criminal was to get the treasure of the golden statues. I was afraid that he would now do something to Satomi and Miki, who were coming to the island within 3 days. Every protect them, I thought that I couldn't let myself get arrested, so I escaped. Miyata got involved because of that. Brother. This man has proved your innocence. I'm sure that somewhere Miyata is happy too. Damn, just a little more. I was so close. See, she would have been arrested. I'd be the head of the Shimamura family by now. Understand that, Mr. Detective? All the pain of living in this small island, part of a branch family with Shimamuras, and not being eligible for inheritance of the treasure. And to make it worse, his son was such a cheeky guy, always acting big and pretending to be superior because he was part of the head house. Why don't you try living like that since you were just a little child? But that's not a reason to murder someone. It shows the wrong way. Kunio, can you give the golden statue back? Yeah, sure, he's just gonna give it up. Why not? Case of the serial murders on Strange Rock Island came to a peaceful resolution at last. Miki also managed to reunite with their brother Seiichi, for whom they had been separated a long time ago. Next day. Good morning. Oh, Miki and Satami. Mori has really helped us. We would like to give you our gratitude. Not a problem. Ha 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 ha. You don't have to thank me for anything. Kokoro Mori's always on the side of beautiful women. And I want too. If you're ever troubled by anything, don't hesitate to call Kokoro Mori. Oh no, here we go again. I'd like to thank you too. I've always wanted to have a cool brother and boast about him to my friends. And now I suddenly can. I'm so lucky. That's right, he's so cool, isn't he? Seiichi. Sonoko. Hello, sorry for intruding, sisters. Hello. Ah. Everyone, how do you do? People here, eh? Let me introduce you. She was my classmate during my student days, my intimate friend, Kaori Honda. Oh, so he was already engaged, I see. Cece's girlfriend. That's why he was trying so hard. She was trying so hard to decipher the treasure's riddle. But she contacted me and said he was being suspected of a murder and that I had to come here and help him. Then when you said you were a photographer, that's still true. I'm an amateur though. At this time, Seiichi was more important than my photography. By the way, while we were at it, I thought we could use Mr. Mori's intelligence to help us with the treasure of the Shimamuras. Solve that code, right? Yes, we don't want to have more people fighting over that legendary treasure again. Many stone monuments on the sign that lead to the treasure's location. It said that if we solve their code, the door to the hidden treasure will open. Kaori has also been helping me find that code. The criminal who had framed Seiichi was undoubtedly aiming for the treasure. Because of that, we thought if we examined the stone monuments, I would eventually find something. We've been searching for the monuments too. That's what it looked like. How many have we found? Firstly, we found these. Yeah, right? Besides those, the other kids have been helping us find the rest, but they haven't found a single one yet. That's all we found. I see. Besides those, I found these. Uh-huh. As we found all the monuments. Only animals. Does this mean the treasure's in the zoo? Yes, that's it. You're mistaken, Uncle. Aren't these the signs of the Chinese zodiac? Chinese? Well, that's great. Then there are the zodiac stones. This is the Chinese zodiac, and there are 12 animals, so we've only found 11 of them. We're missing the dragon, right? Detective boys are still searching. What? Haven't I told you kids to stop wandering around? It's okay, they didn't interfere with the crime investigation. Conan, we found it! We found the last stone monument! It had the figure of a dragon carved on it. Really? Did it have any writing? The code was O'Dare. It was written on top. So difficult. We found on top of the monument beside the guest house. Say it, have you gone into such a dangerous place even though you're just kids? No. Isn't that dangerous? The professional detective boys. What? Now you've added professional? Yeah, they're professional. Anyway, isn't it a good thing that we've gathered all the codes now? You're right. Now, maybe we need to join them and read them. Now, let's think about this. I think it's necessary to follow a certain procedure to decipher codes. In what order should I read the codes first? Zodiac order. Then... no way. That's completely incomprehensible. Verse reading? Not even one word was formed. Inverse zodiac. Line them up in reverse. Is there a way to read anything at all? What if it's the order in which one would put them in a pot? If I taste chicken, cow, pig, then Dad, are you gonna eat the snake too? Aren't there some people in the world who eat snakes? Fooling around, Uncle. Okay, let's re-examine all of this again from zero. We better change our way of thinking. Let's think about the specific distinctions in each one of the stones. For example, the first three strands of the zodiac, rat, cow, tiger. What about each of these three makes them different from the rest? Rat. Popular anime about a rat wedding. Eat cheese. Are eaten by cats? They chirp. I think those may be wrong. Let's try to think about those things. Rat stuff. That's not true. He snuck his way into the Chinese zodiac. Okay. Tiger. Tiger. They have stripes all over their bodies. They are carnivores. They're called Tora in Japanese. There's like a strong roar. I guess none of those are correct. Let's find another meaning. Wait a second. See, monuments, only this one had letters written on the bottom. The rat and cow monuments had letters on the top. What's the matter, Conan? Think of it, there were a few more stones with letters on the bottom, too. And besides the tiger, the snake, the monkey, and the pig, those three. 4 in total, including the tiger. If we order those 4 according to the surely each one comes after 3 signs. A cow, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey. That's it. Apply the zodiac order to the stones with the letters on the top. They have a certain regularity. Then we should try to use the stones with the letters on the bottom as line breaks. This is... Yes, I can read it. Horizontal. If we read it horizontally from the bottom left, it reads Setaka Shireme. Hey, what's that? And this way I can read it like any other Japanese vertical writing. I'll translate to English. Stop by the stone where the water flows to see under the ground. Turn on the lamp of the lighthouse and then shed that light. What does that mean when it refers to the sea under the ground? Let's create a cave around here somewhere. These 12 zodiac stones showing us anything else? Hey Seiichi, is there a map of this island somewhere? There should be one in the library. Alright, that's it. Hey Conan, hold on. Gonna figure out something? Okay, we're going to... Roger. Wait. A map. Found it. Map of Strange Rock Island. All the stones. Can you read the notes, please? Let me see. Yeah, monkey stones, mountain between the mansion and the village. Pig stones near the bushes, the cape of the Y-shaped rock. At the village square. Stones in the bushes. Side of the path leads to the mansion of the village square. I see. In addition to those, we've had the ones we found. The last one, the dragon. You said it was on top of the mountain behind the guest house, right? I hear. With this one, these are all of them. What is going on here? Hey. It's the rat, right? Then comes the cow. Which one comes after that? Pay some attention, Conan. It's the order of the Chinese zodiac. Rat, cow, tiger, rabbit, dragon, serpent. Oh, if we connect these with a line... Seems like a connect the dots puzzle. This is... See, it was this thing, huh? Guess we should go there right now, right? Alright, we're going there. Hold on, Conan. Oh, I have to go there myself. Well, that's less fun. Let's see. Which one is it? Alright. So it's the one behind the... Alright. Da-da-do. Da-da-do, da-da-do. Da-da-do, da-da-do. Shape of a candle. I get it now. When we connect all the positions of stone monuments on the map of the island, the figure of a candle emerged, right? Still say it's a butt plug. So the treasure's hidden in this rock, right? Alright, let's investigate right away. Here it is. Did you find anything, Conan? Okay, where is this rock hiding the treasure? This is kind of depressed. Introduce my hand here. Ah! It opened. It looks like a pedestal. There are 2 cavities here. Place the golden statues here? Yes, judging by their sizes. Did you bring the statues, Seiichi? Ah, of course. Alright, try placing them here. Got it. Okay, now. Oh, it opened. I guess the secret is here. Are we going to finally meet the treasure? Let's go. Why are we meeting the treasure? Is it a person? It's only a very dark cave ahead. Well, that's not a treasure. When are we going to get to the treasure? It looks a bit scary, doesn't it? If anything comes out, the detective boys won't get scared. This is very quiet. Do you hear something? Water sound. It's close. Let's go. This is... like, in a lighthouse? Why is there something like that in an underground cave? Stop by where the stone where the water flows to the sea under the ground. Right, turn on the lamp of the lighthouse and then shut that light. This is the place that the code was talking about. I think that the water on the other side is flowing down. Alright, so this is the place that the code was directing us to. Okay, let's give it a shot. Oh, okay. I get to do it? Sure. Oh, stone where the water flows to the sea under the ground. I guess I should stop by this stone. Okay. His lighthouse can be climbed. Sure. Top of the lighthouse. I have to insert a lamp to turn on the light inside the lighthouse. The interior is all pitch dark. It's completely empty, it seems. I shut the door. To the window. Turn on the light. Right, ignited. Close window. Yeah, something shook. Ah! Conan! What's going on? Look! This is... Oh. The lake is drawn back. Oh, look what it was. It's so pretty. It's a mosaic. What an amazing construction. When I was a human family, we really tried hard to protect the treasure. For the sake of this, even murders have occurred. From what I see, it even seems to be encrusted with jewels. It's really splendid, but it doesn't seem to have a high monetary value, right? I wonder about how much one could get if it would be sold. Why would they use such a structure to draw the water? Even if this was a shallow lake, how did they manage to control all that water? Yeah, it's the siphon principle. What's that Simon's principle that you're talking about? You got it wrong! Lighthouse is hollow on the inside. Then there's water flowing in the lake from above, right? Water starts accumulating in the state. Block the water flow with a rock, the amount of water in the lake settles. Then if we turn on the light in the lighthouse and shut the lid... Oh, my father told me about that when we were in a coffee shop. The flame keeps consuming the oxygen inside the lighthouse, and since the lid is shut, it can't replenish that oxygen. When that happens... the pressure inside the lighthouse goes down, and the water of the lake gets absorbed from below. And then the treasure of the Shimuras that was hidden in the water showed up. It's beautiful, but people died because of it. It's a really ironic story, isn't it? The world is full of such contradictions. That's why we as detectives have to fight for the truth. He says really nice things sometimes. Well, except for that the person you fought for the truth was somebody else. It was me. I fought for the truth. Do. Well, for the most part, that was pretty good. Much like the other game. But because there was just so much more land, there was just so much more stuff that wasn't clear at all times. But, you know, what are you gonna do? That's kind of how these things work. Just how they want to work. Well, we've done it. We solved another mystery. And now it's going to give us our detective rating. It's going to be bad. Just you wait. Thanks for your cooperation, friends. Thanks, Pull to Win, for debugging this, just like the last game. And thanks to the Detective Boys for failing to go run amok until the very last moment. That's how Band Presto sells things. They put people to sleep and speak with a voice changer. It's my sleuth score. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. I'm once again rank C. This is what happens. Alright. Ferry arrived the next day. It was time for us to leave Strange Rock Island. Really grateful for everything. Everyone, thank you very much. It was nothing! Ha 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 ha! Are you coming back to school soon, Mickey? Yes, I'll stay here until things calm down, but I'll be back soon, so wait for me. By the way, what are you going to do with the mosaic we found in the cave? About that, we discussed it with my sisters, and it's better to leave it as is. A splendid cultural asset left by the ancestors of the Shimura family. We just can't dismantle it into pieces. We create a guided visit to it, maybe we can make a big profit of it, I think. What? We must do our best to preserve such a wonderful thing. And being successors also means to work hard to fulfill our duties. Certainly. I'm glad that you are the successors. Ah, the boat's leaving. Okay then, take care. You too, guys. If you have some free time, please come visit us again. Yep. We'll definitely do that, and not be involved in a million more murders. Well, it ended up being a pretty nice island, eh? We should come here to relax now and then. Thanks to being the great detective who solved those cases, everyone on the island has given me a warm reception. Okay, Dad, don't get too carried away. What are you saying? Didn't Seiichi just ask me to come back? In that case, since the Detective Boys collaborate with the treasure search, we should come back together with you. That would be nice. Should we search for our pirate treasure this time? Yes. Coming too. Come back to this place again? You're always saying that kind of things. You certainly didn't seem to feel that way. Ah, I think you're right. Oh dear, it seems that everyone's still in a sightseeing mood. The end. The end of the. Alright, well, that's the end of the. Thanks for coming on another mission with me. And the legendary treasure of Strange Rock Island. Alright, well, later.